made her wear shoulder pads. I don't have fetishes or kinks, right? So I'm not weird like that. I think my friends are weird because they like feet, they like all this other. I don't like. I just like sex. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, dog. These women in these shoulder pads, not a fool. Lie to your pastor, don't lie to me. But seeing her tackle that thing, boy, just all I'm saying is I was up for watching this.
Yeah.
And I don't know who set it up, if it was Cardi's people.
I muted or
There we go.
Oh, okay. Well, damn. I don't know what to do right now. This is sports. Excuse me. This is Big Games BS, brought to you by Den Media Group, presented by TheHumidor.com. TheHumidor.com is the go-to website for all things tobacco related, cutters, torches, all kinds of stuff. We got some new. Appreciate the sponsors because that's how we got some new equipment. Finally made it happen. A lot of people have been giving me a hard time. In particular, I think it was Wednesday. We did the roll up, and people were like, "Damn, James, you gotta get your electronics up." And I'm like, "Damn, I ain't really think about that." But now we got a brand new Mac system. I'm gonna buy some more stuff. We're gonna hit. I can't keep telling y'all about Alpha Male at the end of the year on a good note, and then kicking 2023 in the ass. We're gonna get some upgrades, man. So it's been a minute. We haven't been doing a lot. So now we got to go ahead and kick ass. Hold on, but I gotta finish doing my TheHumidor.com thing. This is what happens when you fall out of your reps, man. You got to keep your reps up. But go type in SportsDen at checkout for 20% off of already discounted low prices. No matter what you get, if you go in and you spend over $150, you can also get free shipping. Excuse me, in the continental United States. So that's enough of the housekeeping when it comes to that right there. They will be one of our premier sponsors for the big Civil War tailgate with me, or this is what we're gonna call it, the Big 3-6 roll up. So it's gonna be me partner with the Big 3 roll up and Sporadics by Sideline Sports Network. We're gonna go out there. We're gonna have a special holiday edition of a tailgate. So I'm gonna tell you my vision, and then and the vision will be in the comments. I mean, in the comments, but like if you're listening on YouTube or on SoundCloud, I'll make sure that the link is in the comments because you're not gonna want to miss this tailgate. All you can eat, all you can drink, all that good stuff, right? Actually, I think Miles, it might be if you go look at the first email that I sent you, it should be in that group of stuff.
From today,
not from from Fridays. But yeah, that one. So we're gonna have all you can eat, all you can drink, whatever. But we're gonna also have, my vision is, it's Black Friday, and a lot of people are like, man, we couldn't go holiday shopping. So what we're gonna do, and if you're a vendor, you need to hit me up. We are going to have it set up to where we're gonna have a vendor like row. So where people can come there, eat food, enjoy the game, enjoy the DJ. We'll have football games up so that people can watch those. But you could also go and you could go check out different people. So if you have a business and you want to be able to market that business, come and check us out. But more importantly, buy the tickets. This goes to help my local nonprofit stuff. We partner with Boys Town of North Florida. That's going to be my babies right there. I am going to do a ton of stuff with Boys Town of North Florida because there is a need. I found it. And one of the cool things they do, they take. Like, I'd be like, man, I got to give shit away. And everybody else don't want to get that shit. But, I have to give shit away. So there's that. Don't want you to forget about that. But we'll have ABC on deck. All you can eat, all you can drink, cigars. And then there will be, I believe, for those who like to partake in cannabis, There'll be. I know right now we have a dispensary and we have a cannabis accessory shop that will be doing stuff. So we'll have edibles, different things. It's gonna be a vibes, man. Florida Gators, Knowles. I want everybody there to be able to take part of it. But getting into the show, yeah, it's gonna be edibles. Which may make the food go faster, but it'll be all kinds of stuff. But before I get into all of the stuff, so Miles, go open that email up. It's we are going to talk about the Jaguars. I'm gonna talk about FSU in a minute, but like go scroll down, and this is gonna be my new way to open them. That's not it. That's the last email, the first email. Go to the first email. I'm going to talk about the Jaguars, and I talked about them last night on the news, and they bother me. They really, really bother me. I saw is that an echo? Is that your headset? That that's the other one. They got the left tackle. I'm trying to think of Cam Robinson. The toughest thing that Cam Robinson has ever done was be mean to Mia O'Brien, but he had a good point. And he says, I'm tired of lessons. I'm tired of learning lessons. It's time to actually learn how to win games. And that's where I'm at. Week 10, yeah, you're a young team, but at this point, you should learn how to win. And now, what I do on the news is I wear the apparel of the winning team. So I had to wear a mustard suit with a red shirt because the Chiefs beat the fuck out of the Jags. Now, yeah, you're saying, James, there's only 10 points, but 10 points in the NFL is like 21 points in college. And it was a thorough whooping, but it shouldn't have been a thorough whooping. Everything that was necessary for the Jags to be successful was there. You start the game off with an onside kick that you recover and get absolutely nothing for it. Is that the one with should be a IG?
This one?
Yeah. You start the game with the onside kick and you're like, oh shit, everything's going for us. But now, moving forward, I'm going to approach every Jaguar game like this. So go ahead, push play. This is how I think every Jag fan should do this. This is how you should approach your game to see how you're going to do.
Hey, Jaguar, listen. Let me know now. Okay? Do I even need to watch the game? Let me know now. Okay? Because today ain't the day. Okay? I need to know, do I need to watch the game or just let it just hear about it?
And that's just really, if the Jags could just kind of like, y'all got a good social media team, but like if you could just put that out there, right? Like let us know if this is the week that you're going to decide to play games or bullshit around, because it would really make me feel better about life. And they did. They decided to bullshit. They got 20 put up on them real quick. And then after that, once you get up by 2 scores in the NFL, it's really difficult to come back. That's basically a one game, in particular with a guy like Patrick Mahomes. Now, I will say the good takeaway from this game would be Cisco. Cisco had an interception, and Cisco was out there giving out Thanksgiving helpings of CTE, because he was out there just destroying. He had Juju Smith-Schuster. He had the Scantling kid. I mean, he was knocking cats out, boos, and thank God for the NFL or the referees not flagging them. I think the NFL is going to go back and fine them, but it was cool to see that. But outside of that, the game wasn't it. It wasn't just the players though. It was a total ass whooping from the head coach all the way down to the guys who were in sweats on the 53-man roster. I blame the practice squad players too. Somebody's not getting these guys prepared. And everybody keeps treating, Trevor Lawrence had a good game statistically. Trevor Lawrence is doing a better job of putting the ball in the proper places, but he's still not doing good. He's taking sacks that he probably shouldn't have to take. And personally, I just think that they have a commitment to the pass that is just asinine at this point. 29 for 40, much more accurate than he normally is. 2 touchdowns, 5 sacks. Travis Etienne, 11 carries for 45 yards. That's just not enough rushes. Now, the Chiefs, who are one of the better rushing teams in the NFL, had a commitment to stop the run. Now, where Travis Etienne did flourish is he had 1 pass for 24 yards. One reception for 24 yards. And then you gave him 2 more after that, which obviously he had 28 yards in total. He had one where I think he just made it to the line of scrimmage and things like that. But you didn't even incorporate him into the passing game. And he's one of your more explosive players. You actually made a sacrifice to choose him over a James Robinson, and then you made a decision to not even use him. The check down actually helps Trevor not be able to get the 5 sacks, and it also keeps the guys honest to where they're not able to stay in the defense they are. And now, for whatever reason, our defense has decided that they want to be man coverage without having a corner. You have one corner in Tyson Campbell that could possibly do it, but everybody else cannot. You have to sip this real quick. It's not what I need. I needed some scotch when I was watching this game. If you have to force who is this? Oh, if you have to force the issue, right? Like on your players to fit into your system, you're not a good coordinator. Good coordinators take what they have and adapt what they have to what their scheme is. So you don't have cover corners like that. So you have to protect them. You don't have a quarterback that can actually read defenses in Trevor Lawrence, regardless of how much you really, really want to do that. You got to chill. You got to put your guys in the best position to be successful. And though the Jaguars have gotten better, and as I told people, again, y'all listen to these. As I've stressed, I'm just a fucking fullback. Nobody listens to me, but you should. I kind of know what I'm talking about with this football shit. I told you that they're going to be improved, but their improvement is going to be so drastic from what the last guy did that you're going to think average is light years ahead of what they were, because that's how bad they were. But this is where the Jaguars are at. They're not the worst team in the NFL. You can see who the worst teams in the NFL are. But they aren't close to the best because the best could have beat them by 60. They just chose not to because, again, it's a long season. You try to get your guys, you try not to put your guys in situations where they're having to play more than what they need to, and you end up taking your ball and going home. The Jags just aren't good, man. I don't understand what they're looking at. And as I joked about Tate Rodemaker, who I like now, the insurance salesman, at a certain point, I'm not even sure if these guys are good people with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't even know if they care about these people. Like, it shouldn't be this hard. And you're getting what you deserve and your best. But I will say nobody sells hope better than the Jags. They are the Barack Obamas of the NFL. They are selling hope. They sell hope like when the dope don't sell, hook them on hope. Because now you have hope for next year. Now everybody's talking about next year. Everybody's like, oh my God. We got, well, not Judy. Who is it? We got Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley, let me tell you how, Calvin Ridley's my type of stupid, right? So I tell you, I like dumb football players. I'm not going to deny it. You can be smart, but dumb football players make good football players. George Pickens, really stupid football player. I told y'all when I saw them, I knew that motherfucker in high school was dumb. When the state of Mississippi, from what I understand, all you need is a 1.0 to be eligible for sports. You can't graduate until you have a 2.0, but this motherfucker had like a 1.8 GPA in high school. Do you realize how much you can't give a fuck to get a 1.8 in GPA? They had to work miracles to get this motherfucker into college. And Georgia was the only one that did it, but I knew he could ball. I watched this film. It was amazing. And when I heard him stutter and stammer over a simple statement that my boy Josh Hinks said, because Josh don't talk with a lisp, nor does he stutter. But, man, George Pickens, that thing looked like I ain't never seen a man sweat without working out like he did. I said on that day, I want that motherfucker as a Jaguars wide receiver. Not my job to worry about them in the end of the day. That motherfucker could talk like Herschel Walker for all I care in 20 years. My goal is to be entertained. Entertainment first, care about the person second. I'm not going to lie to you people. But that motherfucker balling up in Pittsburgh. Better organization, though. So we got Calvin Ridley. Why do I say Calvin Ridley's a stupid motherfucker? Calvin Ridley is my age. And in his rookie contract. The motherfucker was 21 years old as a freshman. And everybody was talking about how good he is. No, that man is a grown man. That man can drink liquor. Like he's the only person who went on his official visit and could literally drink and didn't have to sneak booze. But I have no problem with that. The problem is he's older than Christian Kirk, who's on like his second or third contract. So he's going to come in and immediately add maturity to our locker room, even though he's still in his rookie deal. But again, that's the hope. I hope he's going to be good. Now, I've talked to you guys on SportsDen before that one day it's going to go away. We all have different times when our athleticism disappears. One day I could dunk. The next day, I couldn't. And I was terrified to jump. Calvin Ridley's slowly approaching that age, man. So y'all could be hopeful. I'm going to continue to be realistic. Now, we missed Friday's show. But we'll get back to the NFL, and then we'll get to talking about some things going on in the NBA, topics that are interesting to me. But man, FSU is on track to potentially win 10 games. I told everybody this is an 8-win team. 10 wins at the ceiling. But right now, if FSU will win 8 games this week against Louisiana Lafayette. FSU will win. FSU will probably play the University of Florida on primetime Friday night. The Florida will be 7-4. FSU will be 8-3. Both teams will be trying to get ready to go to try to put themselves in a better bowl matchup. And oh wow. So it's good. So if you can pull up that but I'm gonna tell you guys, I've told you guys, I have a really good relationship with FSU. And I've told people, like, you don't have to slut yourself out or compromise your morals in order for people to like you. If you go to the first FSU, the other email. Yeah, it's the first FSU thing under IG. Yeah. Coach Fuller is a good coach, and I like Coach Fuller because Coach Fuller, actually, if you just go on my profile, I'll show you where it's at, Miles. If Coach Fuller is a guy who does accept critique and help from all kinds of places. He looks for inspiration everywhere. And go down. Keep going. See y'all. But coach, oh damn, my bad. It won't let you see nothing else. Oh shoot, well, never mind. Coach Fuller looks for inspiration from everywhere, and Coach Fuller, I'm going to take credit for it. Maybe if you click Reels.
Oh, it's a reel.
Yeah, it's a reel. If Coach Fuller, I'm gonna take credit for his back-to-back weeks right there. In the office. Yeah, no, not that one. That one right there. Coach Fuller took inspiration from the least of places. I can't find it right now. We're trying to dig it up, but we'll pick it up. I think it's cute. But my boys went on a visit there. Coach Fuller was able to get some help from my youngest Killer, and as he helped him with his with the defensive playbook. I'm taking credit because the defense has been starkly different ever since he's done that, and I'm gonna back him up even more. People told me that I didn't like Mike Norvell when he first got here, which was not true. I don't like excuses. And what people made was nobody liked Coach Fuller for some reason. Coach Fuller got a lot of hate. People used to say during the COVID year, man, our defense sucks. Our defense can't stop anybody. And I'm like, well, our offense isn't scoring any points. And they would say, well, that's because of COVID. They haven't been able to practice and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, shit, did the defense have separate practices during COVID? Like, were there different rules? Like, people weren't using the same standards to judge everybody as they were with the defense. And I saw Coach Fuller put guys in really, really good positions. They just weren't making plays. And one of the things that I learned very early as a coach is to say the only way that I can run this play can be ran better is if I do it myself. And that's illegal. So year 2, they got much more improved. Year 3, this year, they did all this stuff. And let's just see what Killer did. What did Killer do? Killer's in green. He's the little munchkin. And you see Coach Fuller.
Nice to meet you. You're about to change the whole playbook right now, aren't you?
Yeah.
He was all over.
You see that face? That's the face of a kid that knows he just did something. He just you can push it down.
What's that?
Like, and if you see my oldest son, Trey, sitting in his chair, Trey is the one who will let you know everything that you need to know about FSU. Trey is the best reporter on the beat. You know who Trey's favorite coach has always been? Adam Fuller. Adam Fuller gave him a slice of pizza at a youth camp. Mike Norvell tried to speak life to Trey, and Trey didn't even acknowledge his existence. He was just like, Trey took a picture with Coach Norvell the first time. Do you know what Trey didn't do? Which it doesn't do for everybody. Trey didn't smile at all. Trey looked like he was annoyed. He came to play football. He didn't come to take pictures with people. But Trey has always talked to Coach Fuller. So that let me know that maybe Coach Fuller is a good coach. But let me tell you how I knew we had a good season coming up. Not from my eyes, not based upon what I've seen with who's coming in. Trey smiled at Mike Norvell in the picture. That let me know everything that I needed to know about the season because Trey don't smile at nobody. But Trey looked like he was actually happy to take a picture with Coach Norvell, and then boom, and all of a sudden you see this stuff. The children be knowing, man. The children be knowing when some of y'all are full of shit.
Are we on Apple Podcasts?
Yeah, this would be on SoundCloud. When I uploaded to SoundCloud, it'll be on Apple Pods. The last couple haven't been on there.
Okay.
Yeah, my bad. The last couple haven't been on there, bro. Like we've been doing this so long. My bad. Apologies about that stepping in. We've been doing this so long that our memory on StreamYard got blocked up, so I couldn't download the podcast. But we'll put this one will be up there, and then we didn't do a Monday or Friday show. So, but Florida State is on the path to getting 10 wins. FSU has coordinator of the week 2 consecutive times. FSU right now, and I had a friend who said things like, you guys aren't elite or mediocrity. Now, we lost 3 games that we shouldn't have lost. I agree with that. Florida State now has the 11th ranked defense in the country. Florida State now has the 16th ranked offense in the country. There are only 3 teams that have both units in the top 20. Alabama, Georgia, and Ohio State. This is a team made for playmakers. You don't have to show that one. But that was from Corey. I got that from @Corey_Clark, beat writer. Put that kind of stuff. Put that up there. But the David Hale joint, who always does the statistics, and I'm not a big statistics guy. But here's what's crazy. And here's where Alex Atkins is going to earn his money. And Brandon _OC14 is the one who tweeted this in the David L. joint. Backed it up. Norvell and Atkins have to be some of the best scripters in the country. Is there any data on their first drive success? The first drives for Florida State in this season. 19 drives to start a half. All but 6. No, that can't be right. So, yeah, 19. Oh, to start a half, so that'd be 2 halves. Yeah, that's fine. FSU has 12 touchdowns and a field goal. Michigan and Washington are the only teams better at this point on a points per drive basis. How you start the game is a direct indicator on how you finish that. Click that Timmy thing. Let me tell you about some of these guys. And I have the utmost respect. Timmy says, Jeff Cameron says the defense ain't dominating. These are guys that I think are being overly critical. And these are the guys that y'all choose to listen to. They've been doing this for a long time. So that's how they have their reputation. Longevity. Yeah, that's longevity. And don't get me wrong, Jeff is the GOAT when it comes to it. Like, he's been doing this for a minute. To be able to have a show for that long is dope. But see, the difference between me and those guys is that I lived it and I do my own thing. I don't need War Chant. I don't need On 3. I don't need any of that other shit. I'm me by myself. I made me. Actually, let me rephrase that. Bobby helped make me by me running through motherfucking space masks. And if you let me tell you this, y'all can use your own goddamn deductive reasoning. 6 fucking points in 8 quarters, that's dominant. I don't give a fuck who you're playing. Matter of fact, I might be wrong. Hold on. It might be even sexier when you think about that. Because the University of Miami, regardless of how you feel about them, started the season off as the number 2 ranked based on roster from a talent perspective.
Oh.
See, what happens is you have to protect the narrative that Fuller isn't a good coach because you've been spewing that bullshit. But see, what happens is when we talked about it, I got this from my boy Palm Beach Post. And I started using this on my own for myself. I don't argue with people about feelings and eyesight. I have to argue tangible things. There are times when we can use our feelings and our eyesight to justify or kind of maybe explain the statistics, but you can't explain 6 points in 2 fucking games and not say dominant. I'm sorry. I apologize because if it's taken as disrespect, then I mean it. But the reality of the situation is the facts don't back what you're saying. What you're saying doesn't make sense. 160 yards in a football game is difficult. To hold a team below 100 yards passing and 100 yards rushing is difficult for anybody to do. But that's just Syracuse. What did they do against Miami? They held them to 62 yards passing and under 150 yards rushing. Under 200 yards of total offense. Very difficult to do. That's what elite teams do. So we got 22 points in 3 games. Damn. If you don't like that, if you can't fuck with that, man, that's some oof. I ain't gonna lie. That is commitment to hating and to holding a position that is extraordinary.
Stephen A. does it better when a
no. Listen. None of these guys can beat Stephen A. or Skip Bayless. If these guys were Stephen A. or Skip Bayless, I wouldn't even be trying to comment. Like, these are peers. Let's not get it twisted. These are colleagues and peers, bro. Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless. Like, Skip Bayless is so committed to hating that he hates generationally. Skip Bayless hates LeBron Jr. Like, that's commitment to hate. So I'm not saying don't listen to those guys. They're very, very good at their jobs, but they're also very, very good at saying statements that are going to push the conversation moving forward.
Correct.
Because see, now we're talking about Jeff Cameron on my show.
Score.
What I can promise you Jeff's not going to do is talk about big game on his show. The only thing that Jeff will do is come drink some scotch with me at a tailgate. But those motherfuckers don't like me. Not saying Jeff doesn't, but the other motherfuckers don't like me, and the feeling's mutual. Matter of fact, Miles, I was going to use this because one of my favorite characters and rappers in life, Jay-Z is my favorite. But people have said there are times when I make these faces, and I actually think he might be my dad. But if you look on the links, it's Kill Muncher. On the first email with the more recent one. And if you look at it's the last link on the FSU one under FSU 10 wins.
Okay.
But like this is what I was gonna save this for something else, but this is how we're gonna respond from now on. When I get my my Rodecaster, we're gonna put this bitch as a sound. We're gonna put this as a sound. When people start saying things that don't make sense and don't add up, guys, this is what we're gonna do collectively as a family. And we mean this not in a truly disrespectful manner. We mean this in the spirit of the word. And a rapper named Too Short said it was his favorite word. And,
Shut up, bitch.
What we're gonna do is just tell people to do this, as my guy what was his name? Doughboy and not Don't Be a Menace. And Boys in the Hood said when they start saying shit like that, we just say this.
Shut up, bitch. Shut up, bitch. Shut up, bitch. Shut up.
So fast. It's like 4 of them before I could stop.
Hey man, just tell him Big Game told you to say that, man. Fuller ain't a good coach. Shut up, bitch. Hey, Jordan Travis can't throw. Shut up, bitch. Trey Benson got one knee. Shut up, bitch. Just roll it off your tongue, man. Just say that shit with some confidence.
Shut up, bitch.
Oh my gosh.
Hey man, listen, man. Don't let nobody steal your fucking joy, bro. You know how hard it's been for us? You know how hard it's been to cover Florida State the last 5 years?
That is true. Just a small
The
bit of
fucked
joy.
up part of it is that I didn't even want to cover Florida State. I was bullied into covering Florida State by 10-10 when they had Gridiron Now. They were like, what you gonna do is right. And then I realized I write pretty cool. And I was getting enough money to buy Yeezys, even though he's not. That's why I don't understand you motherfuckers trying to back this bitch and trying to act like I don't like the motherfucker when I got a wall full of fucking Yeezys. I'm wearing the Red Octobers right now.
Oh yeah, they would that one reel. They would come at you.
I'm like,
The
bitch.
Yeezy fans would come in.
I'm like, man,
and
fuck Yeezy. He's stupid as shit. Like, that's what Dave Chappelle is like, yo, I can't back this motherfucker right now. Let me back up. Let me hold up a little bit. Let me see where the smoke clears. But I had to come in and I had to write. And then the motherfucker started sucking as soon as I wrote. My first article was Alabama, don't take this ass whipping personally. And then everything went downhill from there. So you will not take this from me. Like, I'm going to enjoy this shit. I don't know what's going to happen next year. I hope it gets better. But like, listen, right now, we might be going to the Cheez-It Bowl, and I'm cool with that because that's in Orlando. If they come to the Gator Bowl, trust me, you're going to want to come to that, and you're going to want to come hang out with me here inside the greatest cigar lounge in America, Goodfellas Cigar Lounge. Trust me, we will have a ton of debauchery that we will go through. Bring 3 things that you need to bring when you go out of town with me. Condoms, baby oil, and bail money. Because you're going to use all 3 of those in some capacity. So make sure you're ready. Now, what I was going to say this is wins like this do get and play like this does get the alumni going, right? So like, I'm talking me and Lonnie Pryor, we got a little fullback chat going like, why don't you give the ball to the fucking fullback on this one right here on the goal line? And like a lot of shit happens, right? But we all made plays that you guys remember. For whatever reason, I made enough plays that some of y'all talk about me damn near 20 years later. What I don't want to hear loser talk or loser mentalities. I hate that shit. One thing I don't understand is this culture talk that people talk about. Football is too physical of a game to go out there and say, I would have played better if I had a better leadership. What that tells me is that you are willing to go out there and sacrifice your body for 60 minutes of getting your ass whooped because you don't like somebody. That is a commitment to being sorry that I can't condone, and I don't want my children around. Djax, have no problem with Djax. Djax is probably a good kid. Djax is a very tough individual, I believe. Just not on the football field. And damn, I got the wrong one. Oh, yeah. So Djax's original tweet was this. I should have redshirted my senior year. Would have got 2 years under Mike with COVID. And then somebody was like, I'm supposed to be watching y'all on Sundays, bro. No bullshit. And this is true. And I hope he makes the XFL draft. It ain't over for me, brother. XFL draft Wednesday. But if they brought in Mike after Jimbo, no doubt me and Pop, along with a lot of others in our class, will be playing tomorrow, bro. Everything happens for a reason, though, big bro. And I'm here to tell you that is fundamentally flawed thought process. I can promise you guys this. And here's what the fan base does too all the time. Bring up fucking tag and everything. I can promise you that nobody spends 20 plus hours a week. That coaches don't spend 60 to 70 hours a week away from their family to lose games. Bad coaches do exist. In theory, now he's a good man, Jeff Bowden. Just a bad offensive coordinator. And damn near a lot of us went to the NFL with a bad coach. You letting men dictate how you approach the field? I can promise you Tag didn't do a drill to make you not pick up a fucking fumble on the goal line to probably win Boise State. That was you. That wasn't Tag. That was you, baby. Tag didn't force you to play undisciplined. Matter of fact, the reality of the situation is, let's just say your maturity has caught up to you and that you wish you had a coach that could have probably brought that out of you, but you wish your heart was in the right place to be coached by that because he would have probably ran you off. That's just the truth. Your attitude wasn't really great when you were there. And something that I tell a lot of the guys now, and Rob DeLoach can probably vouch for this, and my friends who listen to me, I said, one of the worst things you could do is go to a school like Florida State for 4 years and nobody know who the fuck you are. Again, 20 years in this game. 2002 was when I came in. People talk about me more than they talk about other guys in my class. The reality of the situation is this. There's no hate on you, young brother, but at this point, just say bravo, and I love it. When Jimbo Fisher became the offensive coordinator, I didn't say, damn, I wish Jimbo Fisher was my offensive coordinator. But Lonnie Pryor was scoring more touchdowns than I scored. I didn't say, damn, I wish I had the opportunities that Lonnie Pryor had. What I said was fucking right. Go, Lonnie Pryor. Do that shit. After I joked and said, man, I hate that motherfucker because he's scoring more touchdowns than me. I didn't hate on Freddie Stevenson. I said, man, Freddie Stevenson's doing the goddamn thing. It is what it is, bro. But Mike's here, and I'm glad that Mike is doing that. But don't be it. Don't try to make this moment about you right now because you fucked up on your own. Stop blaming other motherfuckers for you fucking up. You that was you. See, let me tell you what I told people about. I'm going to give you a perfect example, right? So I told people about this, right? So they're like, man, I don't think they putting us in the right position, man. Blah, 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 blah. Hey, man, listen, dog. Every offensive player is designed to score. Every defensive player is designed to stop the offense from scoring. Your job, if you want to, that coach is making six figures. You're making $800 a month in your scholarship check. If you want to make six figures, your job is to make that coach look good, even if he's stupid. Sorry, that's just the way this game works. The crying don't do nothing but help you get a couple likes and retweets on social media from a bunch of people who ain't gonna give you a shirt off their back, nor piss on you if you're on fire. If I got to be the one to tell you this is just me being an OG big brother to you. But if you go out there and you go out there and you leave an impression, you're gonna be good. because there's a lot of guys who are on what we consider mediocre teams at Florida State who made a lot of money in the NFL. Guys got drafted off of those teams. It just wasn't you. No hate, baby. That's just the statistics. And again, guys like Jeff Cameron don't like that kind of shit, but we like statistics over here. Like, we like to be able to prove what we're saying over here, man. But stop blaming that, because you know what Tag is doing right now? He's stinking it up at FAU, but that motherfucker's stinking it up with $5 million a year, like on a check, on the beach in paradise. And I don't know where you're at, moving boxes or getting your CDL, which is nothing wrong with that. Like, get your CDL. That's a big time thing, man. What time? How much time we got, Miles? What is that?
41 minutes.
Okay, sweet. All right, moving on. Back to the NFL. Something big happened in the NFL. Something big happened in college. Shout out to Cadillac Williams first. So 2 coaches from the interim tag got their wins without 0 head coaching experience. Cadillac Williams being an African-American player who played when I played. And then Jeff Saturday, phenomenal center with the Indianapolis Colts, got his first win. Jeff Saturday beat the worst. Now, this is the worst team in the NFL. The Las Vegas Raiders, as my boy Chris says. They beat him 25-20. He has 0 experience as a head coach on the NFL level. He's 3-7 as a high school head coach. So, but he goes up there, and a lot of talk. You can leave that right there, actually. A lot of talk has been had about what, damn, this isn't fair. They skipped the Rooney Rule. They skipped a lot of these different things, and I'm on a lot of different sides of this. One, I don't care. I personally believe that it's the owners own their toy. It's their right to play with their toy the way they want. I believe the Rooney Rule is a stupid rule that has good intentions. What I won't do is say, just because I believe that doesn't mean that I can't say it stinks that there are really qualified African-American coaches on that staff that got skipped over because their coked up owner, Irsay, decided that he wanted to be able to give Jeff Saturday a chance. Again, so I want to make sure I'm clear on this, because I know a lot of you guys in comprehension, because I've seen some of our more controversial reels have a lot of comments that have nothing to fucking do with the point. But it's not just a slap in the face to the coaches like Reggie Wayne, who played numerous years in the NFL, who's also up for the Hall of Fame, who literally coaches on that staff.
Oh, Reggie Wayne's a coach?
Yep.
Damn.
It's a slap in the face to the coaches that have been told that this is the process.
Come on now.
The white coaches. It's white coaches that go through this process.
Oh, true. Fair.
Now, granted, the Rooney Rule is about being an overall active head coach. And all the Rooney Rule states is that you have to interview somebody. But at the end of the day, I don't really care. He won. But it does look suspicious. But what I won't do, and something that I've always told people, one of my best friends is not one of my best friends. I have numerous. I hate this because it sounds like what the racists do. But I have many white friends. Some of my best friends are white. But what I've always told them is what I will never do is throw my blackness in front of them to defend as a shield. Mm-hmm. Now, if they do something silly, I will be there for them as they go through it, because I think, and the same thing with me. Like, again, it's the Kanye thing. If I was a real friend, if you're a real friend of Kanye, help him get through it. But you don't have to keep trying to defend and fall on a bullet or a sword of somebody who doesn't want you to. Adrian James just did this, and it was unnecessary, but he's backing his guy. Jeff Saturday with the W. Go Colts. This is America. FYI, 5 presidents have never been elected to public office before becoming president. Zach Taylor, Ulysses S. Grant, Herbert Hoover, one of the worst presidents in history, Dwight D. Eisenhower, Donald Trump. 2 of those guys actually technically had public service because they were generals. Just saying. They were used to controlling large people, but whatever, you know. At 4-5, hey, however you feel about 4-5 is how you feel about 4-5. I think 4-5 was wild, but he was also a billionaire. They had experience in other things that weren't necessarily politics, but like that's not football. Like, you know, it's ways that you have to structure NFL practices and things like that. Right now, it's working. Broke clock is right twice a day. Sun shines on the dog's ass every now and then. Doesn't necessarily mean that he's that guy, but you know what? You know where the Colts are at? They're in the fucking AFC South. So even that doesn't make sense. That they're a northern Midwestern team that's in the AFC South. I personally don't give a fuck. I hope we don't play them anymore. I hope they lose the rest of their games. But the reality is it kind of stinks. And before people come up, and this is what's wild. Find it's the NFL dope, the DOV climbing. Before people jump on this, because the first thing that people did was make this about race. And it wasn't black people. Before black people even had an opportunity to get upset, white people were saying, don't make it about race. Give them a chance. But I want you to see what one of the NFL, if he's not a Hall of Famer yet, he will be. But Bill Cowher has to say about this. Bill Cowher's face looks like the man of probably how his great-grandfather looked or his grandfather looked when the first black coach got an opportunity.
Oh, no.
It was just a scowl. It was a really solid scowl. Like, my man was mad. And he's not mad because he's a white guy getting a coach. He's mad because there is a system. There is a way to do things. And yes, you can circumvent the system, but it hardly ever fucking works. And there's a reason for these things. And I just want, we'll just play that. Play that up with the audio. Because I haven't heard this all the way through.
You know, guys, I played in the National Football League for 5 years. I went on to become an assistant coach right from playing the coach, and I was assistant coach for 7 years. Blessed to be able to go to Pittsburgh and be a head coach at the age of 34 for 15 years. I'm speaking on behalf of the coaching profession. I know for a fact that Jeff Saturday was offered an opportunity to become an assistant coach with the Indianapolis Colts multiple times in the last 4 years. He declined, citing that he had a TV job and wanted to spend more time with his family. Mm-hmm. I get it.
That's fair.
I get it. Coaching is about commitment and it's about sacrifice. It's not just a job, it's a lifestyle. That being said, Jeff Saturday has taken a position this year as a consultant for the Indianapolis Colts. Mm-hmm. And he's talked to them weekly from his home in Atlanta. Wow. Now to find out on Monday, in that short period of time, he's now the head coach of the new Indianapolis Colts, overseeing a staff that he chose not to join because of a lifestyle. Jeff Saturday talked about in his first press conference the fact that he's going to use his second half as an opportunity to build his resume, to see whether or not he can coach in the future. I say to that, what about the assistants on the staff right now? The guys that were there in training camp, the guys that were there early in the morning and late at night, the guys that have gone through the first 6 weeks in that building, guys like Gus Bradley, Scotty Montgomery, John Fox. Don't they deserve the opportunity for an owner to hire a coach who's never been an assistant at the college level or the pro level, and overseeing a lot of candidates that are qualified for that job, as we see in Steve Wilks, an opportunity to build a resume? It's a disgrace to the coaching profession. And regardless how this thing plays out, what happened in Indianapolis is a travesty. Well said.
So, I don't get to say those things. And I see my guy George is hype about it. And I like George. Me and George is one of those guys that I have another friend, Tommy. See, this is what people don't realize. Like with me, I'm not going to ever challenge. I don't care what you believe. I don't care what you think. I just want you to think. But there's not one thing that you can say what he said that was wrong. It's not saying that he can't be successful. It's just saying that it's literally a slap in the face when he had opportunities to join that staff. He made a choice to not join the staff because he said he wanted to be with his family. Now let's crawl it back and let's look at notable men who have made this lie. Because what we do know is, like, look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady, and I don't want to say you hate your family. These people are weird to you.
You play that many years in the fucking NFL. You don't really know what these people are like. They don't know you.
They don't know you. You don't know them. That's why coaches coach forever. But this man has said, I want to spend time with my family. You know who else said that? Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer said, I'm coming for you, Elizabeth. My heart hurts. My heart hurts. I got to go spend more time with my family, so I'm going to go work for ESPN and literally travel every weekend.
Right.
The worst thing for your heart. I want to watch my daughter play volleyball, so you're going to miss most of her volleyball games because volleyball games are played on Tuesday and Thursday, mostly in the state of Florida. So you missed all of that shit to lie to get out of a contract, to get to what you wanted to get. Then you went up to Ohio State. Now you said your brain fucking hurts to go and work for the Jaguars almost a year later to get stomped the fuck out because there is no fucking commitment. Attitude reflects leadership. Your level of play on the field can only get you so far before guys have to know that you're truly committed to it as much as they are. Because personnel decisions have to come into place. What is your philosophy? What do you believe in? Are you a run first guy? Are you a cover 3 guy? Are you a cover 1 man coverage team? Are you spread formation, multiple sets? What kind of running game? Are you a zone guy? You a power guy? See, a lot of you motherfuckers talk about this shit, but you've never fucking been in a... You only know about it from what we tell you. And most of you listen to pundits with pencil necks that have never been in a meeting room. There's more to it than just that. Like what do you stand for? And when you listen to Cowher, fuck all the other shit. What should piss you off is that as a man, I gotta come and listen to a motherfucker who chose to not be in my shoes. Now I ain't hating on the opportunity. With all due respect, take your shots. Again, the quote, one of my favorite quotes is, if the battlefield was fair, you did a shitty job of preparing the battlefield. But at the same time, you need men that you can lead. And they have to know that you have the capabilities to lead. Now, you're lucky on the pro level that there's an obligation because you get a check. So, like, to a certain extent, they're going to do whatever the fuck they need to do. But you can be happy for somebody and recognize that it's a shitty situation. And that's all this is a shitty situation. I know it's hard for a lot of Americans to think that multiple things can be true at the same time. But this is a multiple things can be true at the same time thing. Good for Jeff. Congratulations to the Colts and Colts fan base.
Also, Cowher does come from the place where the coaches believed in that type of stuff. You know, the family sticks by their coaches for years. How long was he the coach of Pittsburgh? You know, so I could see him feeling some type of way about this rhetoric.
Right. And that's just, you know, again, like, it's just kind of one of the things. Like, again, it's more of the fraternity of coaching that comes to this. Real quick, Alpha Male, we're doing the grand opening Alpha Male Clinic here. Brotox and Botox. I like to say bourbon and Botox. Bros and bitches. It'll be really come over here, learn how to become the best you. If it's really trying to help you become so much of an alpha on the surface that you don't have to say it, because if you gotta say it, you're not really an alpha. So we gotta come in here. Tyson's food. Here's one of those things where people I just don't understand people. Tyson's Food CFO, John Tyson, wow, I guess he's one of the family, was arrested after getting drunk, breaking into a random woman's home, and falling asleep in her bed.
Yeah.
This man just got promoted and is making $1.2 million a year. I want y'all to see the face of a fucking idiot. The face of privilege. Because I know, again, like, again, I got to explain this to the people who don't understand, because y'all don't talk to enough black people or people who aren't of your culture. There's nothing wrong with white privilege. I'm here to tell you that. There's something wrong with not acknowledging that it exists.
Right.
I have no problem. There is a James Coleman privilege that a lot of you, that even white people can't get. I will be able to walk on Florida State sidelines. I can go in the coach's office. I can do whatever. My kids can do shit that you can't do. I worked my ass off for that. People put laws in place for you. What's wrong is not acknowledging it. And when you fuck it up yourself, like I get mad at some of you white people. Say, you did take advantage of your whiteness. Don't get mad at me because you're poor. Means if I got switched places with some of y'all. I'm relatively young, make decent money, got good credit. And if I had to act, I'd be Jeff Cameron. It's nothing against Jeff Cameron. I like Jeff Cameron earned his spot. He worked his ass off. But if I had the just imagine if I was paler and I had all the accolades that I have, I'd have more opportunities. But it's not I'm not hating on it. I love my position. I'm gonna work my ass off. But the reality of the situation, that's what people mean when they talk about this. But this right here, it reminds me of a guy named Jim Bob Cooter. Great name. Who we all love a little Cooter. But he got arrested for doing the same thing. Can somebody just explain me for a cultural assignment? What is it about people that get drunk and go? Like there's a police officer who tried to go to the Supreme Court to say that she shouldn't be convicted for getting drunk, going into a neighbor's house and killing him because she thought he broke into her house, but she was in his home. Right. What is it about people that get drunk and you go into the wrong place? I've never I know my neighbors very well. I've never I know I've come home drunk before. I have never in my life gone to the wrong house. That's a lot of liquor, man. That is not alpha, though. Let's not be that motherfucker right there. Let's be the best that we can be, starting with getting our bodies right. We're going to come check us out Thursday over at 3535 St. John's Bluff Road. Come hang out. We'll have beverages. We'll have refreshments. Come learn about how you can possibly get your body jumpstart so we can hit 2023. We're going to have some different challenges where it'll be prizes and stuff that you want to get into. Man, we're going to get sexy as fuck. I want to see us we're gonna do some spring game flexing on these motherfuckers or wherever we're gonna do, because I personally kind of want to do a spring game tour everywhere but UF, but where we kind of go around and we interact with people. We're gonna take this show on the road, baby. We're gonna grow this, because there's one thing that James Coleman has never believed in and will never believe in, is cancel culture, and in particular, I still don't believe it, even though I believe that it's not fair what Kyrie Irving is going through. Not just so much so that what he's going through. The fact that I think the NBA has some fucking nerve. Starting with the NBA sponsors and just people in general have fucking nerve. And that's my hate o'clock. My hate o'clock is brought to you by Green Acre Sporting Goods. Green Acre Sporting Goods brings you hate o'clock each time that we do it. They are the best. It's an outdoor man's wet dream. I get a chance. The cool thing about sponsors, and I'm still looking for one or two more, is that I'm the best customer service that you can have. My boy asked me, if you ask me anything about guns, I can text Z and Z will tell me right away. The first time Z has ever told me no was this. Hey, do y'all sell 12 gauge Dragon's Breath? Didn't know what the fuck a Dragon's Breath was. I thought my buddy was watching House of Dragons and was getting too excited. And that man said, nah, we don't sell it. It's a phosphorus shell. Basically, it's like when you shoot the gun, it causes like a flame to come out of the barrel. It looks like fire. It requires a special explosive license to sell because of the hazardous elements, and we do not have that. I was like, damn. That's the first time. I mean, Z got everything, dog. They got anything that you want. And we have special Black Friday sale coming up here. I'm gonna tell you, Winchester, you'll get your little jit, one of them Winchester Wildcats, $249. Get you a little Bounds Rowdy, little pocket rocket. Real good for when you're going around. If you're out in the field and you want to like shoot a rattlesnake, you don't want to waste no bullshit. Shoot that off there. They got the Taurus, the 9mm, $200. Radical Arms AR-15. I have that one, $499. They've got I'm trying to look at some other stuff here. They got I don't know what a Tuffy turkey choke in Mountain is, but that's $149. They got the Dalton AR-15, which is the pistol AR-15, so it's the grip. So it's not like your other one that looks like that's like a rifle. This AR is a little bit more compact that you can hold. It's $399. I'll probably go get that baby for myself for Black Friday. They also got the pump shotguns. And guess what? If you go in and you mention Big Game or Den Media Group, they're going to give you a special discount and they'll give you some ammunition because, as my guy Z says, what's the fucking point of selling guns if you ain't got no bullets? And they got plenty of all of that, as well as coolers, safes. They do concealed carry classes. I think everybody should give themselves the gift of 2A for Christmas. And that's what they do there. It's an awesome group of people, very knowledgeable. They treat our listeners extremely well. So please, you want to know how you support me? Click the like button, share this. I need to get over 2,000. I would really like 5,000 subscribers on the YouTube. But I'll put out my list again. But if you really want to help, do that. That's the free stuff. Or go support our sponsors. If you smoke cigars, go buy something from thehumidor.com. If you shoot guns, go to Green Acres. Just go in the motherfucker. If you want to go buy somewhere else, go in there. See why I partnered with them. Come to Goodfellas Cigar Lounge. Go to ABC. Go to these different places and see why. Go to Executive Health Spot because it's more than just that. It's a 24-hour doc. My bad. Last thing, I talked to Doc on Thursday, and he basically just gave me everything that I needed. But yeah. So yeah. So it is what it is, man. But that's what I'm saying. So my thing with this, Dave Chappelle had the greatest monologue, and Saturday Night Live has had it quite some time. And it was the perfect example of we can all see the same thing. We can all hear the same thing. We can all read the same thing. And we can all have completely different viewpoints of what happened. The New York Times wrote an article about how Dave Chappelle took the stage and roast Kanye West and Kyrie Irving. The Anti-Defamation League put out a statement saying that Dave Chappelle's comments were anti-Semitic.
Wow.
There are people who said that he was pro-Kanye. He said what needed to be said. And I'll admit it. He did, but to not go into the whole thing, I think you should go listen to it for however you feel. And I believe he was right about all of the things. I believe he also takes a similar mindset to what I have. I have no problem with, even if you believe that Jewish people control everything, I have zero problem with that. I want to have my own control of stuff. So I can't hate on you for that's what you want to do. But what I can hate on is when people unfairly come through. And again, even with Kyrie, I don't know I want people to realize the irony of this, right? The irony of all this shit is I had never heard of this movie. Hebrews and Negroes or something like that. Oh, my bad. I don't know what it is. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to, because I know some of my friends are woke now. Let me tell you about me and woke.
I hate that. I'm sorry.
Oh, man, we are woke. Let me tell you about it. And they even get mad at me when they're like, well, what does woke mean, James? What do you mean by woke? Bitch, whatever the fuck you think it means. That's what I mean.
Annoying.
Some of y'all are just finding out who Dr. Umar Johnson is. I've known him for quite some time. I've watched all the Hidden Colors. I don't believe in myths. And so what does that mean? And again, believe what you want to believe. I don't believe I know Judaism is a religion. I don't subscribe to any religion. I subscribe to a higher power, but I don't subscribe to any religion. I don't go around calling myself a Power Ranger. I don't go around calling myself a Jew. I don't go around calling myself a Christian. I think that's divisive. That's real divisive rhetoric. That being said, I can still see what happened in the Holocaust. That shit happened. That shit sucked. And that should not happen. But I don't understand how people can say never forget that, but then forget that right after that. My great-granddaddy went over there and fought for that shit. To come back here to not be able to drink out of a goddamn fountain with white people or Jews. Ain't not one person of this complexion did anything to you. And that's what Minister Farrakhan, again, guy who I've known up for a while. And these guys are getting people riled up, right? So I say all this to say is that Kyrie made a statement that was insensitive. I mean, he made a tweet, but he tweeted a link, but they didn't take it off of fucking Amazon. And I never heard of this until that. And you know what this shit did? It rose to number 6 on the New York Times bestseller list.
Right.
All it's doing was promoting what you don't want people to know. The Hebrew Israelites now, which I've known about, I thought they were Omegas. They be at every sporting event yelling, bunch of big black men yelling about whatever they are. That's probably the most advertising they've gotten in their entire existence. It's because you took an obscure tweet that nobody even knew about and blew it up. And now what you're doing is having these demands and having guys like your owner, Joe, like your Chinese owner, excuse me, let me rephrase that. I don't know if it's Chinese. Your Asian owner coming in and saying, I don't think he's sorry yet. Adam Silver coming out and saying, oh, I don't think he's anti-Semitic, but he still needs to do these things, which is wild because it's on Amazon still to this day, and you have a $75 billion streaming deal with Amazon.
Right.
You have not severed ties with Amazon because they're giving you $75 billion. So it's not about the offense. Because if it was about the offense, you would not, because the statement was this from the Anti-Defamation League. The statement was this. And this is what I don't like because it's not fair or consistent. I want to know the context in which why it's up on Amazon. Kyrie didn't even put a fucking caption with it.
Right.
Kyrie gets his career put on hold. He gets put in timeout. But you need to know the context of which why it's on Amazon because they're giving me $75 billion. You ain't mad. I don't need to know the context of if somebody fucking offended me. Because what you're saying and when you go look at all the comments, is very consistent, which makes me believe a lot of these people are bots. He says that if it's saying that concentration camps don't exist, it's saying that that Jewish people are the devil. It's saying all these things. There is no fucking context. You should just want it off.
Right.
And you should demand that it's off.
Right.
And you should choose to not work with Amazon until it's off. But $75 billion.
Right. Kyrie didn't point to any specific part of it.
Kyrie retweeted this shit. And again, as we talked about, there are people who say the tweets do not necessarily represent an endorsement or my tweets don't represent my company. But now you got people, man, let me tell you this right here. So much so that that they are now telling us that they got a Jew playing, a Jew hooping in the G League.
Yeah.
I'm with you when you're right, baby. I don't believe anybody should be bashed. I don't believe anybody should be any of those things. And I'm 100% when I see guys like saying, oh my God, we hear this and we know what's coming next. Yeah, no shit. We see buck breaking and we know what the fuck's coming next too. Black people have been telling y'all this shit for quite some time. It's not that we don't think that they do. Like even Dave Chappelle said, if you go to Hollywood, I've never been to Hollywood, but he's been there. He says very Jewish. I don't see any problem with you being in power. I want that stereotype. I want that stereotype. All I got is the big dick stereotype, and I don't even know how big mine is. It's hard to know what a big dick is when you watch porn on an 80-inch TV in 4K. Fucks up your head. Like, athletic, yeah, that's all we get is the athletic. You know what my stereotypes are? I'm fun to watch. I'm fun to watch on Saturdays and Sundays. I can't even hoop that well, but I can hoop. We got big dicks, but I'm angry and I'm angry and I want to rape all white women. I sell drugs and I probably shoot guns. You want to switch?
Kyrie just didn't watch the whole video, and then y'all caught him, and now he's just doubled down. Like,
But Kyrie doubled down because you called him something that he's not.
Exactly. You know, it's a both things.
It's like, again, I don't know what multiple things can be true. He's like, man, I ain't anti-Semitic. I just watched the movie. If I watch Schindler's List that doesn't make me sympathetic all of a sudden. It just means I fucking watch Schindler's List.
But Kyrie also is too woke to be like, oh, I didn't see that part. He can't
Right.
tell people he didn't watch
So-
the whole documentary.
So he
woke.
did what, like, so the thing is that, like, we see LeBron James talking about he reading books and he's always in the first chapter.
Yeah. That's exactly what's going on here to me.
So, like, my thing is here, and here's the biggest thing. Charles Barkley used to stand for something back in the day. It goes back to CRT. It goes back to the Don't Say Gay bill. It goes back to all of this bullshit that people keep saying, right? Raise your fucking kids, man.
Right.
Your kid is not going to turn gay because he watched my son watched the Avengers. My son has watched all the Marvel movies. We took his ass to go see the stupid movie, The Eternals, where I still don't know why that was in the film, the gay part, but it doesn't matter. It was subtle. My son didn't watch The Eternals and all of a sudden say, Daddy, I want to go watch, I want to have a husband and a son. It's not gonna happen, dog. Like, they're a part, just like it didn't happen to me. I have a god brother who I love, Jarrell, who's fucking sassy as any Saturday you've ever met. He's always tasted his words. He's got an uncle that's a 6'5", 285-pound transvestite, Tommen. Guess what I didn't do? I didn't start bending over and twerking. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't even think you're born that way per se. But I don't care. They're not learning that shit in school. There's no Kill Whitey worksheets going home with my kids. I would have seen it by now. I do all the homework in my house. Everybody's so fucking afraid to do what you're like. I'd be damned if my son, if I'm not the role model for my son.
Right.
So if my son sees a retweet from Kyrie Irving about some Hebrews the Negroes, he's going to bring it to me first. And then we're going to talk about it. Like some fucking adults. I'm not going to bash him. Matter of fact, if somebody tells my son that he's he's inadequate, he's going to bring it to me first, and I'm going to tell him why he's powerful, why he's the best. When he hears something about history, he knows his father was a history major. So we're going to talk about history. What we're not going to do is be influenced by people we don't. Y'all say every day, he's just an athlete. Stick to sports. Now, all of a sudden, you want to bash him for something that's not sports related.
Right.
George puts my pops wasn't around. I get it. My pops wasn't around either. But my mom actually fucking raised me. And she put people around me who raised me. You know what? She took care of her responsibility. What it looks like is a lot of people don't want to take care of their responsibility and educate. You want to bash. It's not canceling, but it's bashing. What happens is all you're doing now in this day and age, when you bash like that, and you go over the top, you create enemies. One thing I don't ever want to do is create enemies with my blackness. I know it will happen, but I don't ever want anybody to feel sorry for me, and I don't ever want to make somebody feel envious. I don't want to play Oppression Olympics with people. I just don't want to be treated. All I want is people to do right by me. Best quote by Denzel Washington and James Earl Jones is Fences. I don't give a fuck if you like me. I just want you to do right by me.
Right.
We live in an America where a bunch of people want people to like them. You're too fucking concerned about being liked, and that's why you feel like you can't say what you want to say. That's the truth.
There's a bit of miscommunication going on because somebody is winning, out of blacks and Jewish people fighting each other. Somebody's winning.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason for us to be against
Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon's clearly winning. NBA, do y'all like just like the NFL? And I'll end with this. The funniest thing about the NFL, especially being on live radio in Jacksonville, where it's 33% African American and 77% redneck. No, probably not, more like probably 50% redneck, and then Vatos and everybody else mixes up the rest of that shit. We have some Asians. But Colin Kaepernick took a knee. Everybody, I'm boycotting the NFL. Blacks are like, they're getting rid of Colin Kaepernick. I'm boycotting the NFL. Meanwhile, the NFL's ratings are going through the roof. Right. And it's people who say they boycott the NFL can tell me more about the NFL than I know, and I cover the shit. Right. Them boys went overseas, the Jaguars, took a knee for the anthem after Trump said, called everybody sons of bitches. They took a knee. It was people calling in passionate. I've been a Jaguars fan since they started the damn team, and I'm not coming, and we got a section full of people, and we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. Man, them motherfucking Jags went on a run. Them bitches, that goddamn stadium was packed.
I saw George's talking about the thing we watched the other night.
What?
With the Jewish label on there. Look up the.
Oh yeah, Leo Cohen. Mm-hmm. Leo Cohen. Like, the thing is, like, even George, you about to make me spill into a whole nother thing. I'm gonna tell you guys this: white people shoot people, Asian people shoot people, Indians shoot Indians. The Mayflower came over here. They killed a bunch of fucking Native Americans. I can promise you, they weren't listening to that 21 Savage. The most violent era in New York City, I believe, was in the 70s. I believe Marvin Gaye, What's Going On dropped during that time. Trust me, they was chopping, they was killing people to What's Going On. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre happened. Bunch of Italians killing Italians. They was listening to swing music. The worst thing that's happened with black people is respectability politics. Is thinking that that everything is unique to us. Because of statistics, that the same report shows you that nothing is unique to us. Everybody deals with the same problems in their same areas. We have allowed a struggle or a plight to be characterized brown when it's multicultural. That's why when people talk welfare, they never talk about poor white people in the trailer parks. They talk about people in the hood. It's why when we talk about affirmative action, they never talk about how white women are the biggest recipients of affirmative action. They paint it black. One thing I learned when I started living and I got outside of my environment is that a lot of people have the exact same story as I have. It's just painted differently. When you talk about bad fathers, they paint it black. I love our guy Chris. Appreciate it. Chris. I needed that to get me off of this topic. My point is, guys, stop looking for likes. And stop looking to be liked, and you won't feel like your voice is being suppressed. But also realize that if you're a dick, there comes some. I told a group of young men this. There's a freedom in being opinionated. But the reality of the situation is you just have to be willing to stand on your opinions. The good and the bad come with it. The truth is when people start getting heat, they really can't take it. And with Ye, he offended so many people that now kind of just imploded on him. And people don't want to come to his defense. Like, stop asking Jay-Z to come to his defense when the man offends Jay-Z every time he gets a chance. I wouldn't help you either. But other than that, I don't know what to tell you guys, but I know this. You can't tell me shit because FSU is going to a bowl game. We about to win 8 games. We're probably going to win 10. And Fuller is one of the hottest DCs. And guess who told you all of those different things? Your boy at Big Game James. Because I stand on what I says. Thank y'all for chopping it up with me, man. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. Man, goddamn, that equipment worked, Miles.
I know, for real. I'm so excited.
That made me feel good about it. I didn't want to spend that money, baby, but that made me feel good about it right there, man. To be able to do a show with no hiccups. I won't be on Sporadics today because we got a state playoff game today where hopefully we beat Seminole. Even though they have a commit Goldie Lawrence, that's from Florida State. I will let you guys know about Goldie Lawrence and if he's good enough to be at Florida State after we whoop that ass. Other than that, see you guys Wednesday.